Hello my fellow gamers and welcome once again to Perafilozof City Skylines Let's Learn to Plays. I have started another Let's Play and it's called A Road to 1 Million Population on the hard mode. You can watch that Let's Play on my channel as well. This is episode 18 of the Let's Learn to Play. I will just give you a few pointers as to what was happening lately in this city. I had unlocked the solar power plant, so my power is now coming from the solar, from the wind, and from the dam. So I have almost gone 100% clean energy, except the fact that I'm using incinerators to incinerate my trash. This is kind of a must, because the trash would pile up and I would have probably dozens or maybe at the end hundreds of landfill sites, and that is just not gonna happen. I was trying to figure out in the last few videos how to raise the land value. You can see the land value over here with this overview, and as far as I could tell and as far as the subscribers who have posted about it on my videos, it seems that the land value is mostly affected by the parks and the services that cover those areas. So the more services you have and the more parks you have that overlap on a certain area, the higher the land value is going to be. You can also increase the land value by using some of the policies like the parks and recreation, which moderately increase the land value around the parks and plazas that you have placed, but also require you to increase the budget by 20% automatically. You do not have a choice there. I haven't played around with much more of these policies. They are pretty much specific. For example, if you want high-touch housing, this would also increase the land value, but it would give you an upkeep per every building. And I haven't really been wanting to play around that, but I do have a very high income weekly, so why not try that out? This is increasing the land value, and I would like to increase the land value of one of my areas. I will use this area that is behind these high density buildings, this low residential area, because I want to see on a small scale how this would affect them. So I will turn on high-touch housing and I will turn on the parks and recreations and see is this area going to have a really big difference in the land value compared to the other ones. Well, as soon as I have turned this on, I can definitely see an increase in the land value in this area. You can see that while before I had green areas concentrated around the high rises, now this area that is closer to the outermost ring where I have low density residential also seems to have a high land value, and these buildings have started upgrading. So the land value is definitely a prerequisite for your residential buildings to upgrade. Now the industry is kind of the same story. You do really have to cover them with services, and those are healthcare, fire department, police department, and then even some parks. No matter how weird that might seem, you do need to have parks for your industry to grow in their level ups, and you definitely need to give them an easy way to export their goods. That is one of the prerequisites for the industry to upgrade. Also, what one of my subscribers have told me is that they have seen that I'm using these small service buildings like the medical clinic instead of the hospital, the police station instead of the police headquarters, and the firehouse instead of the fire station. They have told me that because I'm covering such small areas with those buildings, it is possible that that could be the reason why I'm having a hard time upgrading my industry, for example in this area, to a higher level. So I'm going to listen to my subscribers and try and see what will happen if I were to get, for example, a hospital in this area. Let's say over here. Then a fire station. And the police headquarters. Now I will move, if I can, the medical clinic away from here and closer to these areas. Let's see, it can go over here. Actually this street has a lot of traffic in it, so let's say It will go on one of these other streets. Let me just find a spot for it. Let's say over. Oh no, that's too close. I really want it to be over here, so let's say here. And let me move the firehouse as well. It's definitely needed over here. I just need to get the road first. Firehouse, move. And one more building, I believe, police station. I can move that one as well over here. The power lines I will leave. Alright, so now this area is covered by a fire station, a hospital, and a police headquarters. It has parks, although not all of the industry has access to them. Let's see. Oh right, I just got this Japanese garden because I pre-ordered the game and they've sent the keys in the emails to us. So I will put over here. Let's take a look at it. Pretty cool. You have the small Zen garden, then this part with the sand and rocks, I'm not sure how that's called. The little pond here, and the cherry blossom trees. Very cool. And has that increased? Yes, it has. Although this industry over here does not seem to have access to parks, so let's give them that as well. And let's see, where else can I put the park? Let's say over here. Alright, so the industry will have now parks and access to these large service buildings. How has that now affected them? Let's see in the building levels. This area still a little above level 1. I've just seen one building go up to level 2. Over here, nope, they are quite happy staying at level 1, it seems. It may be that some extra time needs to be given to them before they can upgrade further. I'm not entirely sure about just how much time would they need. I mean, I've definitely covered this area with parks, and it's definitely covered with services. And they have access to a cargo train terminal, and they can easily export through this road here that leads to the highway, and you can see there isn't that much traffic here. So I guess I will just have to leave this for the game to settle itself out and see what happens with these buildings. Are they going to finally get some upgrades? Have very little industry that is at level 3, about 30% industry at level 2, and 50% of industry is at level 1. But remember, offices are counted as industry, and if you look over here, I have plenty of offices at level 2, but very little industry, the actual factories at level 2. Could it be because of the overeducated workers? That detail I have not discovered yet. If you guys know, you are free to write me in the comment section. Of course, the noise pollution and the regular pollution is high over here. It is expected. Not sure what else I could use to figure this out. This is interesting. Seem to have missed the spot here. Okay, so I will leave this part of the city alone for a while and see what happens in a few minutes with all of these services up and running. What is going on over here? Low land value. truly. So they are at level 4 and they've exited my city because of low land value. Interesting. So I have high land value over here, but low land value over here. Alright, let's try with the... Let me just find how this district is called. Here we go. Let's try with the policies. So parks and recreation and city planning, high-tech housing. Let's see how well that influences the land value here. There, it's definitely spreading the green land value, but these guys are pretty unhappy with the land value. Not sure what did I do to make this happen. They used to be very happy in these areas, but now suddenly they say low land value. What exactly did I do to have this happen? How about I try something as simple as upgrading some roads to roads with trees that are going to reduce the noise pollution from the traffic. Maybe that will influence these areas a little bit. Let's see how is the noise pollution now. A bit less. Okay, and how is the land value? Still pretty low. Very interesting that this has happened. I would love to know what the reason behind this is. Well, I'm not sure what else I could do except to bulldoze these homes. I mean, they're gonna go abandoned as they are going right now. So I'll simply have to bulldoze them and they will make new homes, which are going to be probably level 1, and then they will grow to the level that this land value area is allowing them to be at. Now that I've spent some time in the residential zones, what's going on with the industry? Still no upgrades. How about that? Still no upgrades. Some of my subscribers have also noted that if you add public transportation, that might increase the land value as well. So because I've already made so many changes, I'm going to leave this part of the city alone for a while before I start making more changes, because then I won't know which change did what. Let's go back to the new part of the city. What do we have here? Building is abandoned because, yeah, one of my subscribers told me about this. I was trying to click on these things to show me why it was abandoned. You actually just have to hover your mouse and see why it was abandoned. Too few services in these areas. Alright, makes sense. Because I'm using the clinics and not hospitals in these areas. And once again, I will listen to my subscribers, and this time I will build the actual big buildings for the services. So let's go with a hospital here. Fire station over here, and the police station over here. Whoa, what is going on here? Abandoned because the land value was low. What happened with the land value? What did I do to this game? I'm seriously stumped here. What did I change so much? But why has the land value dropped so much in this area? I'm completely stumped by what just happened. Look at all these abandoned buildings. I've had to demolish so many right now. Let me check out the services now. So clinics covering these areas. Firehouse, I won't need this one over here. I will move it towards over here because the fire station is over here. and I will get a fire station over here and move this firehouse from here towards this area over here. Again, abandoned, low land value. Why is this suddenly going on and in this large of an area? It's totally beyond me. Alright, parks and recreation, high-tech housing. That should help with the land value, supposedly. Look at how many homes I had to destroy. That was insane. Let's go back to this part. I have used the policies here a few minutes ago, and there are no residents coming back into the homes that were abandoned due to low land value, and the land value is still low towards the edges here, but in the middle it's pretty high. It's completely maximum green color over here, and this household seems to be going up to close to level 6 now. Here we go, another high-tech gadgets abandoned due to too few services. How could there possibly be too few services? It's completely covered with fire stations, by police stations, by clinics and hospitals. My landfills are filled with the garbage, so all the garbage is taken away. But why are they going abandoned in such droves? Alright, these guys need workers, which is understandable considering how many workers have left my city. That's totally understandable. And look how much I have reduced my income now. Because of all these policies, I'm paying over 7,000 for the policies, and I have probably reduced my income further with all of these extra policies for parks and recreations and the high-tech housing that all costs a lot. And I do have a lot of traffic here at the industry central now. I should definitely do something about this. The problem could be because this is a two-way. So I'm going to change this up a little bit. This is going to be a one-way, and they can only go through here, leave their stuff, and continue going up. And another thing that I may do is destroy these roads so that they have to use the big circle and not file in into this small one like this. Not sure, is this also one way? Better to make sure. There. Now they will have to go down here, get in, go to the cargo terminal and get out. No more going on the both lanes and creating a problem like this. This should get the traffic moving, like it's moving over here. You see it's a constant stream, there's no stoppage like I just had over here. So this should fix up in a moment or so. Still need more workers because none of my new residents have come in, and I did lose a few thousand residents. That person waiting for transport, that should be taken care of by the cemetery. What I find interesting is that there is no land value if you do not have buildings close by. But if the buildings require land value, then shouldn't there first be land value for the buildings to go up to a higher level on that land value? It almost seems like you need to have the prerequisite buildings for the land value to be high, but for it to actually be high, there has to be a high value building built on that area. It's kind of confusing actually. I will have to read up on this a little bit more before I can tell you exactly how it works, because testing alone doesn't seem to have gotten me far. I still don't seem to get the entire point of the land value, and it seems to have cost me a lot when I lost all those sims. I can reduce my power budget because I'm not spending that much power anymore, since I have demolished so many buildings. Can go maybe even up to 75. Can even reduce some of the water as well. Whoops, now I've reduced it too much. Back to 90. Same with the water, reduced it a little bit too much. Okay, just enough power. And just enough water, I believe. Yep. Okay, that's back as it should be. The traffic is high in some areas, but the important thing that it is constantly flowing. There aren't any big stoppages except maybe over here in this intersection. So I will have to play around with it a little bit. Pause, bulldoze. Don't really need to bulldoze this any further. Just go like this, page up. Page down. And that should get the traffic away from these four-way intersections, which is now a three-way. Well, over here this traffic should be moved down towards this one. Damn, a park is in the way. Can I move the parks? Yes, I can. Excellent. Move the park a little bit, connect, and then disconnect the four ways here. Like I told you in all of my videos, four ways are definitely your enemy. You need to get rid of as many of those as you can. This might not look nice, but it's definitely gonna save you some traffic problems. Back to the industry, and they still have not leveled up. I'm truly stumped as to what to do with them. What's going on here? Not enough buyers for products? Oh, no kidding. They do have commercial, but it does not seem to be enough. Okay, more industry is going abandoned because nobody's buying their products now. This is becoming very interesting. I seem to have been hit with a wave after wave of problems out of nowhere, pretty much. Well, it's probably not out of nowhere. There was probably something I was not seeing and not fixing in the time that it was supposed to be fixed, and now it's coming back to bite me in the ass. I'll probably have to rewatch my own videos to see where exactly did I create the problem that I'm faced with now. I'm kinda thinking it might have been because I had too much industry at one point, which would lead to the problem of them not having where to sell their stuff, but that is also a problem with the current status of the game where the parks are killing the commercial demand, so that's not exactly my fault entirely. But I do need a lot of parks because these guys do seem to require them for the land value and to upgrade. And I have finally gotten back some of my residents here, and the land value is probably now high. See, there aren't any holes like it was before. They went up again, and there is much more land value here now. Very interesting. I will definitely have to spend some time on some of these concepts. As you have seen, I have not obviously mastered the land value and the building upgrades. In any event, thank you for watching. I think we have learned a lot in this episode. Maybe not learned how to do the things, but definitely learned how not to do them. Thank you for watching, and see you again in the next episode.